Okay. Welcome. Hello, everyone, and welcome to a new episode of Women's Empowerment Series. This is a wonderful platform that we have set up to invite incredible female leaders from around the world who are inspiring through their work, inspiring through the impact they make around them, and inspiring by being a leader full of empathy and full of care and love. And this is such an honor to have you, Sara Giller, joining us today for this episode. Welcome.
Thank you very much. Lovely to be here.
Wonderful. So Sara, you join us from eastern side, northern of UK. I'm not sure quite exactly where because I couldn't pronounce it properly, but I am so happy to have you. And I'm going to let you introduce yourself. Tell us where you're located and the work you're doing, and how are you standing out as a speed national leader?
Okay. I'm in the east of England, so in a county Norfolk, which is part of East Anglia, so slightly up and to the east of London. Currently, I'm on the senior management team of a business networking organisation. Kay is one of our members. She's not.
I know, but I wanted to put her up to say hi to everybody who's joining us. Let us know that you're here and let us greet you and welcome you. Yes, so please, Sara.
Yeah. So currently I'm on the senior management team of 4N, which is a business networking organisation. We work with businesses, micro to small and medium, not only in the UK, but we do have members around the world as well, providing the time zone kind of like fits in. And our brief really is to help members connect, to get them, everything has a duality. So in business networking, part of the duality is the business side of things. So that is helping people's businesses to grow with support, advice, also education and different things like that, giving them a forum to connect with other people. And then the other part of the duality is that it's all about relationship building, because that's what networking is all about. And it's also about keeping us mentally healthy, because when we are business owners and we are working on our own, it can be very isolating. And so when you find a tribe of people who are working in their own businesses, we can come together to help to support one another. We get to know, like, and trust one another, and that's when magic starts to happen.
That is so true. We are, merely as women. Is the network only for women, or is it also for men? Only women.
We don't ban anyone.
Good. So you create a whole, What brought you to this field of networking?
It's everything, one door closes, another door opens type of thing. I always wanted to be a teacher, so I grew up and was a teacher, and then it wasn't me anymore, and so I started my own business. What
were you teaching? What field were you in?
I used to teach children who had challenging behaviors and challenging. They were at that time they were called SEN, but they are. They were people that were struggling with understanding what the school life and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And then I went on to work for a support service, and we dealt with kids who had emotional and behavioural difficulties. Mm-hmm. And then that wasn't me anymore, because, like everything, it was great working with the kids, but adults not so much. So the adults tend to spoil things, I tend to find. And so I then started my own business as a mineral dealer. I was buying and selling minerals and absolutely
nice.
Yeah, absolutely. Wow. Loads of nice stuff in Morocco, actually.
That's so true. And that's why your cat is named Silver. It's all connected. How interesting. Yeah. What type of minerals were you more excited about?
I used to really love opals. So
Wow.
I became quite well known for opals in our country, and I was like the first person to bring over opals from Ethiopia.
Wow. Did you actually travel to go see the minerals out there?
No. Now, I used to go to Europe and America to the shows, but I never traveled on my own to mines, and I didn't have any connections with any of those kind of like places. I think it's far easier for people if they have referrals, if they
True.
have people they're connected to that are in that particular field. So, no.
Wow, that's fascinating. So, Opal, what else? What else? What did you also bring some things from North Africa, from Morocco, from places like here?
Yeah, there was there's a lot of fossils in I didn't deal with fossils, but there are a lot of fossils in Morocco, and there are interesting minerals that come out of Morocco. And I used to get stuff from all around the world, really. And then it became quite difficult to make a living from it. And doing something you love, it's all very well doing something you love, but if it's not making the money, that the whole thing about being a mineral dealer is it's always turnover. So if you are in a business where you are selling product, as soon as you sell products, you need to replace it. But if you don't have the funds coming in, enabling you to buy the product, it becomes
sustainable. You don't have what to sell. So what were you going to sell? Yeah, it needs a lot of capital.
Yeah, it ties up capital. But I was quite fortunate in the last few years that I was doing it, in that I was getting people who had collections that they wanted to sell. So I would sell that on their behalf.
Nice.
Up with more, with more different type of stock. And then the older you get as well, I'm having to schlep all this stuff around, and it's not light. And and there were other things that were taking over, and I got involved in networking through meeting some people that invited me to various things. And networking is something that I then found out was very close to my heart, and had been, because I'm involved in a number of network marketing businesses, which were kind of like on a similar fashion, really.
That's right. And you created your own little network, right? By doing this trading thing. It's like you started by creating your own, by negotiating with different stakeholders. So you actually did
that. The mineral business, or are you talking about the network?
Yeah, and like the mineral business was kind of a start of this, because it builds on that network where you connect all the stakeholders so that you are able to grow.
Yeah, and again, it was about finding people to know, like, and trust, which are the key elements of business networking. And that there was a chap I met in Germany. I went to the German Munich, and there was a chap from Indonesia, and he had incredible carvings, beautiful carvings that were made out of like moose antler and sometimes mammoth ivory. And he know me from Adam, and I'd run out of money, and I really loved this stuff. And he said, "Oh, take it, and just take it, and then just send me the money." And it was like, and we did, and
he trusted you.
Yeah, and I sent, and then we then built up a relationship based on that. And he contacted me the other week because he's in Tucson. Well, he was in Tucson because there was the Tucson show on.
Yeah, and he's like, "Where are you? We're missing you." Excellent. I love that, because it's built on trust, and that's how relationships are. Everything is built on trust. How do you bring that, creating that trust within your, today as a national leader for networking? Because that's the basis, really. That's how people connect.
It's about being authentic. It's about being authentic to yourself, not wearing masks, being open, honest, trustworthy. If you say you're going to do something, do it. There's two people in business that promise everything and deliver nothing. And then people that, a bit like Kay, who's on here now, who understands that, this is who she is. And if she says she's going to do something, she'll do it. So then it's interesting in the networking world. You know, news travels fast, and it doesn't matter good news or bad news. So if you've done a brilliant job, people will shout about it. If you do a bad job, people will sing about it. And so you've got to be very careful, you know, and it is about first impressions, and you know, and the thing about networking is it's also about referrals. So if I've done some work with somebody or other and they're really happy, and they can then refer me to someone else and say, yeah, she did exactly what she said, you know, she delivered it on time, it was absolutely fantastic, it blah blah blah, then it's
that's it. It speaks to you. It's like recommendations. Recommendation precedes you. So whatever you do, yeah. And you said it so well. I mean, you don't even need. It's like the word of mouth that just travel like this. You don't even need to prove it or validate yourself or ask for it. It's just gonna show up around you. Yeah. That's very true. And this type of business within the network, are they service provider, productions? Where are they? Are they training provider? Who are you? Who are you inviting to your network? Because I have a question in the chat, which I will come to, but would like you to really say more about that.
I mean, we have quite a vast range of members and people that are interested in us. We have a lot of people that are service-based. We have people that are product-based. A lot of those products maybe come through multi-level marketing. Sometimes some of them are actually making their own products. We've had, you know, or importing products. We also have people, we don't have people that are kind of like manufacturers as such. We don't have really big organizations. We don't cater for those. So as I said, micro businesses to small to medium-sized businesses are the people that get attracted to us.
So that would be more solopreneurs, entrepreneurs who are just creating their company. Maybe they're the only one. They have few members in the team. So this is who you're targeting. Yeah.
And also sort of startups. The only problem with startups is it becomes a kind of like a chicken and an egg. You know, networking is where they need to be because they're just starting up and they need all the support and help and advice, which they will get in networking, because in networking there are people that can help them not only on their business but in their business. But then they need funds in order to become a member. So it's like, you know, you need to do it, but then you need money coming in order to do it. And so
it's like it's an ongoing cycle, and it's hard. Yeah. There was a question in the chat. She says she is a healer, and she would like to see if how is it possible to help us, to help me network this business. And it's more, she's in a trans energy trauma therapist. That's what she is. I mean, is that something that could be used for her?
I mean, what we found, because we used to be face to face before lockdown, and then we transitioned very, very quickly. And part of what we offer is huge variety. So our face-to-face meetings are gradually coming back, but we also offer online. And online, we realized that having a geographical meeting meant nothing, because we can have people from all over. So we ended up theming and focusing our meetings. And one of the meetings that I run is called Wellness Wednesday. One of the meetings that Kay hosts is called Mindful Networking.
So very nice.
There, you know, and I have another one that's called sort of Think Outside the Box. So there's a range of different types of focus meetings, and we do have people that are healers. We do have people that work different ways. So I mean, I would love to invite whoever you've got in your network that would be interested in trying one of our online meetings. Please do get in contact with me via
so this is Elizabeth. She just sent her email. I will forward it to you. Okay, Elizabeth. So, and that's something you could maybe, she can join some of your meetings, right? This wellness meetings.
She will be able, as a guest, you're able to come along and try one of our meetings. And, you know, we will, I always phone somebody up beforehand and tell them what to expect, what our meeting is going to be about. and then we always follow up and see whether it's a network that's right for that individual. Talk about the benefits of membership, and we're exceedingly amazing value, if I say so myself, but we are in comparison to a lot of people. We've been going for like 17 years, so if we don't know now, we never will, but we do know what we're doing.
Well, I'm sure. I mean, so obviously, I mean, you're so valuable because a lot of what's happening today is you have all those great healers, great therapists, great mentors and coaches and service providers, and, and also entrepreneurs, solopreneurs who are creating very unique products, new products, innovative products. And what they're lacking is the clients, the network to actually present what they do so that they can sell whatever the value they provide. And if I understand well, I mean, your network is actually so valuable because you can connect them with their clients who can be in the network or can be community of the network. Is that right?
I mean, obviously we're all businesses in our network, but it's like you would, every meeting you go to, you potentially have a complete sales team. So whoever is in that Zoom meeting is potentially your sales agent, because if they understand exactly what it is that you do, they will, if they know, like, and trust you, they will want to help you. And them, how many hundreds of people do they know? So when they are engaging with their friends and family and somebody says, oh, I have a need, I have a problem, I have an issue, then in the back of your mind, you're thinking, oh, I know somebody that can do that. And that's how they then become connectors. So networking is incredibly valuable, and people do it all the time, but they don't necessarily realize that they're referring and networking. If you go to a restaurant and you absolutely love it, or you go to the cinema and you see a film, what do? You tell
you're gonna tell everyone. Yeah, exactly. You become the marketer, the salesperson.
Yeah. But this way, in business networking, if you have helped somebody, then they're not beholden to you, but they then feel more inclined to actually be able to help back. And networking is very much about giving. It is a giving activity. It is not a selling activity. So you wouldn't go to a business networking meeting with the intention in your mind that I'm going to sell to the people in this room, because what that's going to do is that's going to force them to go back and go, no, because nobody wants to be sold to.
Nobody wants to be sold to. That is so true. But people can be, you can share what you do genuinely from a space of wanting to give value about what you know, your knowledge, wanting to, say something that would inspire others, or just find a space, like belong to a space. And I think that's what is the word that is quite confusing on people's mind, is you don't go to a space because you're superior, you have something you want to sell, or you're inferior and you're like, oh, I'm shy. You go to a space with the feeling of belonging, and that's what creates the strongest network. And that's what's hard to find. It's really that feeling of just feeling it's just good to be here because I belong here. How do you bring that? I mean, that's a lot of work which is you do. That's why, I mean, I really congratulate you for the amazing thing you do, because it takes a lot of subtlety and understanding to make everyone feel home within your network, isn't it?
I think everything in all business, and anybody in business will understand that everything filters down from the top. So if you have an owner and you have a management team that are all about giving and helping others, then that naturally will descend down throughout the entire network. And I mean, like this morning, I actually have a meeting that's called Empowered Women, and Kay was actually at that meeting, and we had one guest, and I'd had a conversation with her previously, and she'd been to a number of different female-only meetings and hadn't really gelled. But she absolutely loved our meeting because we're very inclusive, and it's welcoming everybody. It's about, not making somebody feel as if they're a spare part in the room. And our members are absolutely fantastic at doing that, and she ended up having a conversation with one of our members who's over in Brittany, who used to live in the same town. And so she felt immediately at home.
Wow. Mm. Incredible.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
That's nice. So you build trust. You make them feel that everybody belongs to the network. So it makes them feel like home and you can use it to share value. How big is those meetings? I mean, how many women or men and women, because you said it's open, connect? Do you see it's more men, more women? Just want to be curious to understand
Not
who are.
necessarily. I mean, some of the meetings can be heavily swayed one way or the other. It just depends. I mean, there's one that's called Gamers Geeks. I think it's called Geeks now, or Gamers and Geeks. The idea was that it was for people that were kind of like really interested in gaming and, you know,
Yeah,
themselves nerds and geeks.
nerdy thing. Yeah.
Um, and it's not one that I tend to go to, but I think that one is probably heavily more swayed towards the male. You
Uh-huh.
know, um,
Right. Because of the name and, the tendency. Sure. Yeah. Uh-huh.
and like Wellness Wednesday that I also host is aimed more towards people who are interested in health and well-being, and we know that that is more female population.
Female realm. That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
So, but we
It,
do have men that go there, you know, and they're not all the businesses are based around health and well-being. It could, you know, you could basically go anywhere. It doesn't really matter.
doesn't
You know,
matter.
our meetings, you just go to any of them, you know, and you find each meeting has its own kind of like personality, depending upon the people. You know, we have two team members plus a host, and you know, it depends upon the group leader that's leading that. You know, that they inject personality or whatever, then it's, you know, vibrant and
Yeah.
you know, there's huge amount of variety, and I'm sure that people will find themselves feeling at home in more than one of the meetings that we run. Yeah,
Amazing. Amazing. And, and I'm still such a strong believer that the word today, we need more of those networks to feel together. It's the
yeah,
togetherness that makes us rise more and higher.
yeah.
And so which really is a way to face those feelings of competition. What is this one doing? Let me copy, let me not, let me, this one is not copy. So it let go of all those negative feelings, and that we know exist, I mean, no matter what, while this brings so much, no, like, you touch the abundance of being. There is space for everyone,
Mm.
and more we get together, more everybody gets stronger. And I think that's what we really need to be able to let everyone believe truly and understand more of. The togetherness is
But
needed.
it's also about collaboration. You know, we have the ethos in our network is very much like, you know, the other person isn't competition. They actually can become referrers, or they can become collaborators, because people buy from people. It doesn't matter if there's 6 people doing websites. It's not a question of there's 6 people doing websites. It's a question of there's only one of those that somebody will be drawn towards.
That's
And
true.
and you know, even if you were the only one doing websites, if they're not drawn to you, they'll never give you the business anyway. So it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. That's right. Because there is something beyond just you providing your product, that connection, that trust that is almost invisible, right? Because you can trust a person without even knowing them. Like, the story you shared about this German,
Yeah.
art collector.
No, he
That's
wasn't German. He was Indonesian.
okay. Indonesian living in Germany. Okay.
He was he was doing a show in Germany, but you know, that's the nature of some people, I suppose. But he obviously found something or saw something in me that he felt he
Yes.
trust.
Yes.
And that's
Yeah.
what it's like in the networking. And as we said before, you know, good news spreads fast, and so does bad news. So, you know, it's somebody that goes in with the wrong mindset, that is attempting to sell, they're not coachable, or you know, they see people as competition, they're not going to survive very far, because you know, that's coming out of a need of um, of not having plenty, but coming out of a need of desperation.
And of
And
scarcity. There is
yeah,
lack of things.
lack.
Yeah. So, what keeps you motivated in doing this and really connecting people, meeting us, me, like connecting you? We met and you connected me with an incredible lady. You did that just spontaneously.
Yeah.
And I thought that was, I was really, I loved that about you. And I thought it's just amazing that, we can still find people like you doing that.
I'm not
Really.
I'm not the only one, but it's I mean, obviously my own views about life, and that's what brings me joy. It's I'm not motivated by money. You can't motivate me by money, but you can motivate me if I'm, if I'm able to help somebody, and because that's the most important thing that we have as human beings is our capacity for love, not
Yeah.
only to love ourselves but to love others and to give to others. And it's like the biggest buzz I can ever get is if I'm able to help somebody and see that, that they have benefited as a result of that. And that's the pure pay it forward.
I
Um,
love it. I love that. Pay it forward. And this scary, and you obviously had it from a long time, being a professor and a teacher of children that are needing more attention. There is something in you forever that has been that. Where is that? Where do you draw this? Is it from being child? Where do you have that beauty to give and that love to give?
I think that comes from my soul. So, I would consider myself to be a spiritual being, and as I get older, I'm more connected to my soul and who I truly am, and it becomes so clear then about what life is about. And it's not about competition, it's not about divide and conquer, it's about bringing together, working together, community spirit, loving one another. Before we came on, we were having a conversation about animals, and and I said, to me, life would be not worth living if I didn't have animals, because the purity of them and the connection to the earth, and that to me now is becoming more and more and more important.
I
And
love
is just amazing, and that's what we should be connecting to.
Absolutely. And I saw a nice comment here that I'm going to pull up. When you love without condition, you are expressing as source and higher essence. And it
Yeah,
is, there is an
exactly.
infinity when you connect with that and when you use that to
Yeah.
shine. This is beautiful.
It's about attraction. It's understanding the universal laws, the laws of attraction, and as you shine brighter, you attract the similar to you.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
and
Oh,
and
yeah.
and then and then you find it. We met for the first time a
We
few weeks.
attracted each other because we have, your light shine bright, and
Yeah.
that's it. You calibrate to something that, and this is how it works. And I always say that people's like, oh, networking, it comes to you. You'd even wonder how, but it just comes to you.
No, it's about getting into that mindset of just attracting, and there's people make their businesses on that. I can't remember who it was, but I was listening to somebody in the network, I think, and they're sort of saying you don't have to go out there to get your clients, your audience, your whatever it is. All you have to do is be like the magnet and attract them, and they will come.
Yeah.
And that's you create your life, so that's what you're creating.
That's beautiful. Very nice. Somebody say it's a vibe. It is a vibe. It's a light. It's a lot of love, and that's the new way of being a leader. It's a leader full of empathy, leader full of love, leader full of trust, full of love and wanting to give back. And I think that's what you represent. And I congratulate you, Sarah. You're such an inspiration. Thank you so
Thank,
much. Mm.
thank you for the opportunity. and as
Yeah,
i
that
said
was nice. Hmm?
and as I said, if anybody is interested, wants to come and have a look at what we do, please do get in contact. More than happy for you to come along and try it for free, just as long
Wonderful.
as it fits. Yeah.
Very good. So what I will do is I will drop your link in the comments. So if you're watching us live, the link will be dropped in a bit. If you are on replay, just wait and scroll to the down so that you can find the link to connect with Sarah, to maybe be part of her, 4N national network, and see what magic you can create with that. That's wonderful. Great. Thank you for coming. This was a beautiful episode. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for being with us. And I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.